All right, it's going to be just a few more minutes until police officers are there, okay?
Oh, my God.
On September 14th, 2013, Jonathan Ferrell was shot and killed by a police officer named Randall Kerrick in Charlotte, North Carolina. Like a lot of recent police shootings, a lot of what we know about what happened that night comes from a video. But the way you see that video depends on who you are. This is the video. What we're going to do is watch it from a couple of perspectives. First, the perspective of the police officers. And what they know at this point is that a woman has called 911 and said a black man in a green shirt and light pants is trying to break in her house.
911, hello?
I need help.
What's going on there?
There's a guy breaking in my front door.
The cops didn't hear this call, but this 911 call is what started the whole thing. Dispatchers tell the cops about the call, then the cops get in their squad cars and start driving. And down the road from the 911 caller's house, the cops find a black man in a green shirt and light pants. Now, watch him reach for his pants right here. Could he be reaching for a knife or a gun? You can't see the officers. They're just off camera behind those police cars. But Officer Kerrick says he thought Jonathan Ferrell was reaching for a gun.
And I had absolutely no idea if he had a weapon on him or not.
And now, see those red dots? That's from a taser. One of the other officers has pointed his taser at Jonathan Ferrell. But we later find out the taser doesn't work. To Officer Kerrick, though, it looks like Jonathan Ferrell just ran through that taser and that he's moving aggressively.
A young man making a very aggressive move towards these police officers after disobeying commands.
So that's the perspective of the police. But let's back up just a few minutes and try to see this from another perspective. What if you knew something else about Jonathan Ferrell first? What if you knew that earlier that night, Jonathan Ferrell was in a car accident? The police later found his car at the scene. It looked like Jonathan had kicked his way out the back window. And then he went to a house and knocked on the door.
Jonathan was an innocent bystander looking for help and killed.
He was barefoot. He didn't have his phone. The woman at the house thought he was trying to break in, so she called 911. This is the moment when the cops found him. If you knew about the car accident before you saw this video, what would you see here? Maybe you'd see a disoriented man looking for help, walking toward police. And look again right here when he reaches for his waistband. We later find out he didn't have a weapon, so maybe he's just hitching up his pants. And now look at the red dots from the taser again. They appear on his chest right before the cop fires the taser. And here, you can see the prongs from the taser fall.
Jonathan is in fear for his life of being shot.
Jonathan Ferrell did not run through a taser. It missed him. Maybe when he saw one cop with a taser and another cop with a gun, both of them pointed at him, he got scared and ran. Maybe he wasn't running at cops. Maybe he was running away from them. Maybe he had seen videos like this one and knew how this can end. Either way, this is the moment when Jonathan Ferrell is shot 10 times by Randall Kerrick.
Shots fired, shots fired.
Investigators later looked at this video and decided that Officer Kerrick used excessive force. They charged him with voluntary manslaughter. But in the end, the jury was split. They all watched the same video, but they saw something different. The case ended in a mistrial, and Officer Kerrick went free. Since 2005, an estimated 12,000 people have been killed by police. African Americans are much more likely to be shot than white people. Most of those shootings were ruled justified. Just 79 officers have been charged with murder or manslaughter for an on-duty shooting in those years. And about a third of those cases resulted in convictions, often because the officer pleaded guilty. That means just 14 officers have been convicted by a jury since 2005. Police are using dash cams and body cams more often. But what does it mean when we can look at the same video and see two different things?
And we all saw the same thing. But in the courtroom where there was 12 of us trying to deliberate on what exactly we were looking at, there were 6 opinions one way, there were 6 another.
In our new series for Embedded, we're looking at videos like this, what they tell us and what they can't, and how they're changing us.